Okay, I'll be going over some of the Secure Web Gateway features on the Fortinet FortiGate. Let's go ahead and show you some things that you may not know about, some explicit proxy settings. FortiGate can act as an explicit proxy, handling HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP as well. Here's some of the settings and configuration options available there. And in terms of user authentication, LDAP, Radius, NTLM, Kerberos, a lot of different authentication schemes are available. What we're looking at right here is LDAP. It's pretty easy to set up because you have the ability to, during setup, click Browse. You can see your LDAP tree there and verify it looks right. And then you even have this test connectivity feature, which is great because that'll tell you if that's going to work. And if we look over at user groups, notice I have a bunch of different groups available: engineering, facilities, HR, IT, marketing, and sales. These are all coming from groups created on the LDAP server itself. Now let's go ahead and look at some of the web filtering capabilities. You notice here that there's a couple different custom categories. An always allow category with these sites here, as well as an always deny category with some known bad sites. So these custom categories work just like regular categories when you go into web filtering. So let's go there. And I like to view my different web filtering profiles this way. Let's go ahead and look at marketing. You'll notice in marketing, the always allow category and always deny category are allowed and denied. Bandwidth consuming is allowed. Security risks are blocked. And unrated sites trigger a warning for the content. Let's go ahead and look at facilities here. You notice in facilities that the local categories are the same, but a lot more content is blocked. Bandwidth consuming, adult mature content, etc. Unrated is still set to warn, and safe search is being enforced as well. Let's go ahead and look at what we have for application control. There's the default application control profile here that just monitors. There's one here built in that blocks high risk. Here's a custom one created to restrict Facebook posting. It's monitoring everything. Facebook itself is not blocked, but the posting mechanism is. Now let's go ahead and look at the policy itself. So if you go to policy and objects, you can see in this case here we're not using anything in the IPv4 policy, but the proxy policy is populated with two basic rules here, one for marketing and one for facilities. And you can see they have their own custom profiles associated with them. Let's go ahead and take a look at this marketing rule. You notice that it specifies the port, the group of marketing here. So once a user authenticates and they're in the marketing group, this rule will apply to them. And then if you notice on the security profiles, we have a standard AV protection profile, that marketing web filter profile that's specific to marketing. Application control is just the default right here. And of course, SSL inspection is being done as well. If we go ahead and look at the other rule for facilities, you can see it all looks very much the same. It's using the standard AV protection as well. It's using the web filter profile that's specific to to facilities. Under application control, you can see that the Facebook posting profile is active there, which is going to restrict Facebook posting. And then if we look at the SSL inspection, you can see that that is set for deep inspection. And just to give you a sense of how easy it is to actually create policies like this, let's go ahead and create a new one. And this time we'll put it for sales. And for antivirus, you can just do standard AV protection, or web filter. There's a sales one here. If we go look at the properties there, you can tell that it's similar to the other ones, but also the potentially liable category or grouping is completely blocked. And then for application control, we'll just set it to the default, and we'll make sure that SSL inspection happens. And there you're done. You've got a new rule that applies to the group sales. All right, let's go ahead now and look at how this policy affects the different users. So we'll start here on a client. Go ahead and point out the proxy settings. Go to connections, LAN settings. It's configured to use the proxy right here. As a side note, Internet Explorer and Chrome both share the same proxy settings, but if you are using Firefox, it has its own. So let's go ahead and try and log in here to Facebook, and you'll see that my authentication screen is prompting me here. We're going to go ahead and log in as Nancy, who is in the marketing group. So you'll notice that Nancy can log into Facebook here. We'll go ahead and save that for now. If we look at the security certificate, you can see here that it was issued by the FortiGate that we're connecting through. So we know that that the FortiGate is performing SSL inspection on this site. And if I wanted to post something, just go ahead and post that there. All right. Now, you may have noticed that there was some sites that were also set to always allow. This is one of the always allow sites. There's some always deny sites as well. Let's see what happens when we try to go to evil.com. You'll notice that this is blocked by the FortiGuard web filter. If we go to our favorite test virus site, icar.org, here we can verify that the AV scanning is in fact working. So we click the download button here, download over here. There's a lot of different versions of this. I like to use the text one because if it's not blocked, it just shows up as text in your browser. You know right away if it worked or not. So let's just go ahead and look at the HTTP regular download here. Notice that this is a high security alert. This was detected by the AV engine. You can also see some user information here as well. So let's go back, and this is secure. You can tell by the lower left status bar. This will verify whether or not we're doing AV scanning over an SSL connection. Notice that is blocked as well. Great. All right, well, the web filtering component also is set to block malicious sites. There you go. Notice that this is a malicious site as identified by FortiGuard. And when I try to access it with my browser, the FortiGuard web filtering kicks in and actually blocks it. All right, so let's go ahead and check a different client. This one will authenticate as a different user and see what happens there. This time we'll use Bill, who's a member of facilities. All right. Here I am logged in as Bill. All right, so let's go ahead and post this right here. You'll notice that I clicked post, but nothing has appeared. Yeah. So you can verify here that the Facebook blocking was working. If you remember on our security profile, Bill is also blocked from bandwidth-consuming applications, things like YouTube, Dropbox, things like that. So let's go ahead and see how that behaves here as well. And you can see that this was blocked by the FortiGuard web filtering profile as well. So there you have it. You've got different users authenticating to the FortiGate using Explicit Proxy. And you've got completely different security profiles assigned to them, allowing them to access some content but not others. You've got granular control over the user behavior in terms of always allowing some sites, always denying some sites, creating restrictions on Facebook so that you can access Facebook but can't post any content, and so on and so forth. So I hope you enjoyed the demo.